February 27th. I'm calling this board meeting to order. Roll call of directors, please.
Alice.
Here.
Barnes.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Gorman. Here. Kaiser.
Here.
Krautkramer. Here. Beal.
Yep.
Tomcheck.
Go.
Zebro. Student rep Carly. All present but Zebro.
Thank you. Item number 3 is Pledge of Allegiance. Stand and rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4 is the approval of this evening's agenda.
Motion approved. I'll second.
Motion by Tomcheck, seconded by Lewis to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing nothing, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is the approval of the minutes. There's 2 sets of minutes this evening, a regular Board of Education meeting held on January 15, 2018, and a special Board of Education meeting that took place on February 1st, 2018.
Motion to approve both sets of minutes as presented in the board packet.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Tomcheck, seconded by Lewis to approve both sets of minutes as presented in the board's packet. Further discussion from the board.
Do we know what the difference is? Oh, okay, there is one, the special board, and then there's the ones that are tabled tonight?
The special board meeting was the Dietrich
Okay, okay.
board etiquette, just kind of board policies meeting. And then the January 15th was our standard board meeting from January.
Got it. Okay.
Further discussion? Hearing nothing, move to vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to item number 6, which is the public forum. The public forum provides the public with the opportunity to ask questions about or address issues included on the school board meeting agenda. General operating rules of the public forum will be determined by the board president once the number of people wishing to speak is identified on the night of the meeting. Prior to addressing the board, please clearly state your name and address. Is there anyone in the audience this evening that would like to address the board? Mrs. Mauer?
Yes.
Anyone else who would like to address the board? I'll call for a third time. Anyone else that would like to address the board? Mrs. Mauer, the floor is yours. We limit it to about 3 minutes.
Okay. Tell me when I'm at 2.
Okay.
It's like a volleyball or.
Matt's next.
Okay. The reason I'm here tonight is because of a lack of character in our 2017-2018 school year. I'm disappointed as a parent, as a teacher, substitute teacher, and a coach. It started at the beginning of our school year when a senior boy, I guess he took on the, he went to Quick Trip and decided to buy some bananas and start firing them at people or whatever houses. And the thing that, then our seniors decided to vote him onto homecoming court, and he became homecoming king. That as a parent makes me mad. Secondly, the situation that many of us are familiar with is the DECA situation. These were good kids, labeled good kids. They made a mistake. They were suspended, but they were also allowed to come back to school. Then I find out that they were allowed to have a tutor. I don't know if we paid for it, I don't know if it was true. And then recently, one of those children were allowed to be the valedictorian. I don't know if that's true as well. That upsets me as a parent. The next thing, the repeated fights at our high school, or cat fights as the kids call them. I had a kid who's 15 years old and said, "Why don't they kick these kids out?" Another kid, 16 years old, a boy about 6 foot tall, said, "I don't even walk into the cafeteria when I see these girls around. I go in a different entrance." This is a 6-foot kid. It's a boy. He doesn't even want to go in there. The next thing, the high school athletics. We start each event with a speech, and it sounds something like this. We have sportsmanship, blah, 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 because nobody listens to it. It reminds me of the elementary school parking situation years ago. It was about a page and a half in length. Instead of saying, park your car, get out and walk to school. Pick up your kid that way. It's 3 simple sentences. Same thing with this athletic thing. Google Southwest Airlines. See what they do for airline safety now. They make a joke out of it, but people listen. Behave, people, when you're at an athletic event. That leads me to the last thing. Our boys basketball program, to me, has been just, I don't want to use a disgrace, but I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of their discipline. I'm ashamed of their character, from Marathon to Lakeland and finally at Rhinelander. And I'm not upset because Andy got ejected from the game. The game didn't even matter. We were playing for pride. They had first place, we had third place, but our boys are not disciplined. They show a lack of respect for the coaches. I just wish we would have some disciplined athletes. I love to compete. I'm a former athlete, and you need other teams in order to compete. So show them the respect. And I don't see that from our Mosinee teams. I didn't see it in football. I eventually saw it in football later, but in basketball, there's nothing there. So just to conclude,
Real quick, Linda.
as a teacher, a coach, a parent, I want us to work on character. I want some class. I want to say, oh, here comes Mosinee, instead of instigating us to be like a clown. It's a disgrace. And I'm sorry to address this, but that's what I see. And I know I have a lot of parents around me that feel the same way. And nobody wants to speak because they're all afraid.
Move on to item 7, which is special presentations. There's 5 of them this evening. Beginning with a district strategic plan update from Dr. Ann Schultz, School Superintendent.
Well, thanks everybody for coming, because I know that you're here tonight to share so much about what we're doing at the schools and a lot of the good goals that we're working on. So I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to start just a little with what our district plan was. And of course, our plan sets the stage for the entire district. But really, you're the workers of the plan. So we sit in a data retreat during the summer, and we take a look at what is our plan going to be for the school district. And thankfully, we work for a board that supports that. As a matter of fact, this board demands it. And many of you came to the data retreat, and you sat with us and watched us and had comments about the goals that we set. I will tell you, from every building that I've walked in, we appreciate that the board sets that for us, that you hold us to a high regard and that you expect that we have measurable goals. I think it starts at the top. So our staff was really challenged this past year I asked them to be curious, because we have a lot of problems that we face every single day. A couple thousand kids show up in our school buildings, and we have a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So many of our staff took that challenge on and are very curious and asked why. They spend a great deal of time poring over a lot of the data, and you're going to see that tonight, board, you're going to see that tonight. They pored over the data and they set the goals. I'm not going to go through the specific goals that each school has, because they're going to update you on those, but that's what our plan is. We set 4 different types of goals for every single school: a curriculum and instruction goal, an assessment goal, a school improvement environment goal, a climate and culture goal. We also set a family and community engagement goal, and our staff, each one of our staff members, sets a professional learning goal. Happens all over again at the middle school. They have 4 goals: curriculum and instruction, assessment and data use. They work hard on the environment and the climate and culture of their school. They want their families engaged, and they staff have a professional learning goal. And again, at the high school, each school has the same framework as they set their goals. We've asked our staff to be incredibly curious, to continue to work towards each goal that they set. The board has set for us a strategic plan that has student achievement. We're looking for professional growth and team development, technology, positive employee relationships, facility stewardship, and fiscal responsibility. You have heard Mrs. Shell and the Curriculum and Standards Committee talk to us about all of the hard work that's going on to align our standards to the curriculum. Every staff member in here is probably exhausted at working on the unit plans and all of the alignment that they've been doing. The middle school will share with you tonight the response to intervention plans that they've honed in on this school year, and just really an access to rigorous curriculum. You'll hear about a number of AP and dual credit courses that are offered at our high school to push our kids to achieve the very top that they can. For professional growth and team development, this board made it a commitment that we would have teams that worked well together, that would collaborate and continue to learn and grow. We know that our organization won't hum unless every teacher in here is willing to take it on to learn and to grow more. So there is a focus on professional growth and team development, and the board set a compensation model that aligns to that growth. In technology, during December, you heard from Brady and Christy and their team, and they talked about the technology update and the goals that they've been working on. Employee relations, we've been working very hard to have handbooks that are up to date, worked on with the different groups in our organization. Each team takes on staff and climate and culture goals. That's to create and to foster a positive environment where they work. The facility stewardship has been a goal for us since we had our audit many years ago. And we align the work that we do. This year we've done some pretty amazing projects. We're in the middle of a $14.2 million energy efficiency project, and in addition to our science classrooms. That doesn't negate all the small little work that's going on and all the projects that are going on that this board has really pushed our team to do. We also continue to work in partnership with the Mosinee Community Athletic Association to develop the complex that the community started. Fiscal responsibility is important to the board. We want to make sure that we're spending wisely and maintaining a balanced budget. That's our focus for the school year, and what you're going to hear tonight is an update on how it's going. Okay, how is the work going, and what data proves that they're working on work. Okay, so that's what you're going to hear tonight. But I just want you to know how that, how we set those goals is really off of the framework of those key ingredients that we feel are valuable to our school. We'll move right into the high school.
Yep.
Come on up, team. Right around here, not so much here or here, but right here. Well, up front with me today is Amanda Hoppy, our social studies team leader, Anna Kaiser, our English team leader, and Scott Greminger, our associate principal. Some of the other team leaders were not here tonight because they have an assortment of other things going on. So you will be seeing some videos of some of the cool things that are happening within our building. What I'm going to start out with first is just a video of some of the students during lunchtime.
Hello, school board. Today you're going to have a wonderful opportunity to see some of the great things that are happening here at Mosinee High School. To start, I'd like to share with you what the vision is of our high school. I'm going to ask these men right here. Guys, could you tell us what is the vision of Mosinee High School?
Did not read that from the wall and know it by heart.
Thank you so much. What we're going to do here throughout the rest of the video is we're going to take you around school so you can see some of the projects we are doing to help our students become college and career ready.
Well, that's the start. As the student said, we want to have all of our students reaching their full potential to become college and career ready. That means a lot of different things.
The other one's playing.
you're gonna see in our classrooms is you're gonna see what our mission is. Our vision is our dream, what we wanna have. Every single kid college and career ready. That's our dream. When you go into our classrooms, this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see critical thinking. You're gonna see students and teachers collaborating. They're gonna have real world problem solving, technology fluency, and we try our best to involve the school and the community, and you're gonna see some of the ways that our students actually go out into the community and work and get paid throughout the school day. Underneath our vision and our mission, we need to measure, okay, how are we performing? And that's how we decided as team leaders what our goal is. And for the 17-18 school year, we want to have an average improvement of 5% in college and career readiness in each of our 4 subject areas as measured by the ACT Aspire and the ACT. In August, like Dr. Schultz was talking about, we all met as a team and we asked ourselves, of the current initiatives in our building, which ones show the most promise for advancing student achievement? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. The first one is academic and career planning. I'm not going to share this with you because in December, Katie Goodman, Gina Struble, and Denny Flatham came and talked about all of the great things we're doing with academic and career planning. I am going to show you a video though of our team talk classes. What we want to do is, with our team talk classes, is our goal is to close our achievement gap, and Anna's going to talk a little bit about that.
The benefits of team teaching, well, there are a lot of them. One really important thing is just the combined efforts and the combined passion and the combined knowledge between the 2 teachers to be able to team up and not only walk around and be able to hit every kid, but also just the lesson planning and time to work with your colleague and the information that the kids get, and especially when we have a team of regular ed and a special ed or like the reading specialist, because they bring things to the classroom that I maybe wouldn't naturally normally have.
The next portion, last year we talked a little bit about increasing our AP and our dual credit classes. We are continually doing that every year. As you can see, our number of dual credit classes is going to be at 28 next year, and our AP class is at 12. And this just shows the number of kids that are taking the dual credit classes and our AP classes. And last year, our students saved themselves, our seniors, we had all the money that they saved by taking these dual credit and AP classes, and combined they saved themselves over $400,000 by taking those types of classes.
Was that just the classes they got credit for when they went to college, or was that the value whether they received credit or not?
No, that's, if they took a dual credit class, we consider, and they passed the class, they got a senior higher, they saved that money. If they took an AP class and they got a 3 or higher, they saved that money. Ron Klinner is one of our team leaders. He's not here with us tonight, but he made a video.
Students in CTE classes get real life experiences just by doing hands-on stuff. In the case of my class, building a house, they're doing what contractors do. They get to see all aspects of the house construction, and this gives them a good opportunity to see if this is a career that they want to pursue and do during their adult life. It doesn't matter if it's construction, manufacturing, metals manufacturing, food service, ag, all those careers are available to students, and just getting a taste of it to see if this is what they like.
These are some examples of students that are either in internship or if they're youth apprenticeships. Our youth apprenticeship kids get paid. So they could be gone from school 2 hours. That's our Mosinee manufacturing. give you an example, these are youth apprenticeship students, they're blacked out, but you can see these are the companies that we are working with. And so this student right here that's blacked out, they're in the area of finance, and they work for Connexus Credit Union. They have study hall 7th and 8th hour, and this is their mentor. And their mentor works with Denny Flatham, and they get graded throughout. And at the end, if they do a good job, they get a certificate. And if they get that certificate in finance, we actually get $200 per student from the state for every kid that ends up getting a youth apprenticeship certificate. So this is just the number of kids that we have in first year, second year youth apprenticeship and internship.
Part of our goal is being college and career ready. So we talk about some of the academic stuff, but we also have these behavior expectations and our school-wide expectations that we have for our students. You've heard us talk about PBIS. Just a quick update of what that team has been doing specifically. Beginning of the year, we rolled out our behavior expectations for all of our students. Those are those common expectations across different environments within the school, whether it's in the cafeteria, the hallway, the classroom. What are our behavior expectations? And those are posted all around the schools and classrooms. We really have that expectation of excellence for our students, not only academically but behaviorally. We use a team approach to hold the students to those expectations. Some of the other things that our PBIS team has been doing, we've been participating in the district-wide Cool Be Kind Week at the end of January, just giving some ideas for our students to promote kindness, doing some random acts of kindness for others, and hoping that will spill over into something that they'll continually do throughout their career. Brought in a national speaker to close out that week, kind of reiterated that fact too. And one of the things we're working on right now, we're looking at the data as a team, what are some of the areas that we can really improve in the school, and it's tardies. So starting on Thursday, T came up with, we're going to play music during passing time, and when that music shuts off, kids are going to have 1 minute to get to class. So hopefully that'll kind of get them going and reduce the tardies and just get the kids into school, into their classes on time and ready to go. All that stuff together gets to our 3 values there of being respectful, responsible, and successful. So it's not just academics, it's behavior too.
So another one of our goals is our high school teams will analyze student data and develop student interventions to help improve that student learning. Matt Lindsay is not here tonight, but what he does, he made a video showing how we progress monitor on Mondays.
A lot of ways that I encourage my students is by asking them to set weekly and daily goals when we meet during our homerooms every Monday. By breaking it down to smaller, simpler tasks, I find that my students have an easier time in order to follow through and bring grades up, or to bring their grades that are already high even higher than they currently are. When it comes to students on the F list, a lot of it comes down to is working with them on time management and breaking their daily tasks down into smaller, more manageable goals. A lot of times when they're assigned a large project, they get overwhelmed with the complexity of the project because they see the whole thing. But by working with our students to talk about how they can manage projects into more simpler ideas and facets first, and then build them all together to the final project, really seems to help our students.
So some of the data within progress monitoring, what our staff is doing, and I'm sure Amanda and Anna can talk a little bit about it, but we really try to encourage our kids to improve every single week based on how they're performing in each of their classes during homeroom. And our staff, they're building relationships every week with those students. We've also increased our privileges, which is a goal to decrease our F list. And we've also added skills classes, and this is just the data showing that all those little things that we're doing is working when you look at our Fs. At the end of the first semester this year, this was the number of Fs that we had, and you can just see that the trend is going downward. And it's because of the little things that our staff is doing to motivate our kids and engage them and encourage them to do better and to expect excellence.
thing that we decided to do as an English department, and I believe we did math and science also, is to create local assessments, which just basically means, at least for English, I can speak to English for sure, we mirrored it after the ACT, because in junior year, of course, the big test is the ACT, and that affects our, what is it called, yeah, well, the state test scores. Yeah, there you go, the state report card. So we decided that that was a really important thing that we seriously need to focus in on, especially since English is one of those areas that we could always improve upon. So we designed a local assessment that tested the majority of all of the English portion of the ACT, and we used some reading samples, created some of our own answers, some answers from the ACT, made it manageable so we could just do it in a 45-minute period. And then we decided at all levels, 9, 10, and 11, that we would test in the beginning of the year, within the first week of school, test in the middle, which most of us just did in the end of January, and then test at the end. Now, obviously, we won't have, I don't think we'll have ACT scores in time to know, but at least we have the local assessment so that we're able to see, all right, where are the kids still deficient, where do they still need to improve, and then, of course, design curriculum around that.
And this here is the data from when the kids took it at the beginning of the year in blue. This is the average score for English 9, English 10, and English 11 in blue. And then when they just took it in December, when they took their mid-year assessment, we can see the growth of each student, we can see the growth of each class, and we can see the growth within, each teacher can see how their students are growing as well within their classrooms. The other initiative that Hannah, Mr. Felch, and Mr. Lai have been working on are the ECT Prep sessions.
So we had actually two scheduled ACT Prep nights, and what we did, each of us teachers in each of the 4 core areas that are tested on the ACT, we designed a presentation for both of those nights. I designed one for English and for reading, and then we had science and math. And the kids were able to come in and we gave them tips and tricks on how to be successful on the ACT. We taught them what the test looks like, how to go through the multiple choice, because that's the majority of what it is. And we talked about I talked about, at least with the reading, how to read, how to kind of increase your reading skill and increase your comprehension. And then we gave them practice tests to be able to practice, and then we helped them score them and kind of get an idea of, okay, now with the tips and tricks, how much did your score improve, and that type of thing. And just recently we had a third night, which was kind of wide open. Us teachers, the 4 core teachers, were available for the kids if they wanted to go through another practice session, if they wanted more tips and tricks, if they just wanted to talk and get all their questions answered, we were available for them. Also, all of those things have really informed us in designing the curriculum or tweaking the curriculum to make sure that not only are they ready for the ACT, but they're ready for college type material from 9 through 12. So.
And that was today, your test?
It was.
ACT test
The big
was-
test. Yep.
Test today.
Okay, in accordance with other board priorities about curriculum, guaranteed viable curriculum, the high school has been working on that curriculum overhaul and putting things in unit plans and course plans. So our goal, of course, is 100% of our teachers complete 3 courses within their 1 additional curriculum map. So staff meets 3 times a month to work on these course and unit plans. There is a link there to the district curriculum warehouse. Most people are well aware that that's out there. Our current progress data is a little bit skewed because this was recorded before the February 23rd in-service when we were working on course and curriculum. So we're at 127 total courses, 46 completed, 46 in progress, and 35 not started. But of course, these documents are fluid. I can honestly say I have 2 courses done in social studies right now, but the state of Wisconsin is releasing new standards next year for social studies. So we're going to be starting over, well, not over completely, but aligning it with new standards. So these are fluid documents. These are always going to be a work in progress, and they're never truly done, I would say. I have a sample of my unit plan and my course form up there if you kind of want to see what social studies looks like at the high school level.
So how does that help your department?
Aligning, alignment, priorities, where are the gaps, what are we testing, what are we not testing? I mean, we're one of those gap areas, we're not tested on the ACT, we're tested on the forward exam at the sophomore level, so we have to make sure we're targeting students in a variety of areas, but we also want to support the mission of math and science and English, and how can we support those things through our reading competencies and so on and so forth. So, updated numbers soon, hopefully.
And it's a huge undertaking.
It's a huge,
Yeah.
huge undertaking, huge.
We have a lot of departments of one, and that's a lot of material to take on for people.
So that can be 14 courses
Mhm.
for that one teacher to have to design all those units and make sure that they're all aligned to the standards. But if the test results say that our kids aren't doing well on X standard, we don't know how to respond to it if we don't know where those standards are taught. So it's kind of like playing Moneyball. It's using analytics to be able to make adjustments to our instructions to improve student learning.
And vertical alignment, 512 alignment, all of that. We can see what we're testing and how we're testing it across the board. Until next year when we have a new standard.
So all the work that we've been doing, the question is it working? And this is the data to prove that what the staff is doing is working. If you look at, this is the percentage of our kids that were college and career ready in the class of 2017. This is the class of 2018. And this is the class of 2019 and 20. And what you can see is that we are increasing our college and career readiness numbers, as you see here in math, as well as in science, as well as in our reading and our English areas. So the work that our staff is doing, it is working, which is very exciting. The last slide is just, when I think of the high school, that's what I think of the high school staff. And to be successful, one must make change an ongoing process. We're constantly looking at what can we do better, what can we do better, what can we do better. And quality is a race with no finish line. We know we will never be completely done, but we're always looking at continuous improvement.
Any questions for Nate, Scott, and team?
How many kids did you have? You showed kids that were working outside school. How many were there? Did you say a number?
There was 21 youth apprenticeship first year, maybe 6 or 7 second year, and then we had internships that were around 15 to 20. We got a lot of kids. It's been increasing.
Okay.
That's another goal of ours, is to increase the number of kids taking youth apprenticeship and internship classes. A lot of things going on.
That's good.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When this is Mr. Barnes' question that came up a long time ago about, and it never came back to the board, about students that, are they still allowed to retake tests and turn in late assignments and why is that being today?
Well, it's kind of like, let's say I'm a basketball player, I'm not really a good